Welcome to Awareness and today's episode is about our scam stories. So, when I gather here, when I come hear scam stories, and if you have your scam story and your experiences, please share it with us. Let's help other people that have fallen victim. So, this person sent me this message. It says, "Hi Josh, hello. I'm sharing this my scam story in serious pains. But anyway, Sha, I have moved on from that experience I had some years ago. My story is about these people that call you randomly. And there I was one fateful Tuesday morning when my phone rang and I picked it up. And a man who addressed himself as Elder Okoro, he called me by my name and asked me about my children, how I was holding up, just to mention, I lost my husband the previous year. Oh, so sorry to hear that. And him checking up on me, I didn't even suspect anything. He didn't raise any red flag. That this fellow was after what he could collect from me through tricks. But he kept on calling, and he was always prompt, calling on a specific day of the month. And this went on for about 6 months. To think of it, I was even surprised that he even knew some of my extended family members' names. And each time he calls, he asks after them. There I was this particular day, and he told me that he had a business he wanted to introduce to me. Business. That the business will help me elevate my status. That where he worked, they sell oil company servicing tools. That the tools are used in servicing pipelines, and it is worth millions. At the sound of millions, my ear rang, ring, ha. My money loving sense awakened and I was interested. But I told him that Shebi he knows my current status, that I lost my husband and I don't have a job at the moment, of which he acknowledged. And he told me that I should not worry, that he will talk to his boss on Alaji. That the product is worth 300k. But if I bring 120k, he will collect. But I still told him I don't have that kind of money. Then he said any amount I have, I should bring it at this point. I wasn't even suspicious at this point. Then he said he would tell the allergy to call me. Not long after, the allergy called and he told me that the only reason he's calling is because that Elder Okoro is his very good employee and he respects him so much. So he asked me how much I had to pay for the product. I then told him I have 40k, of which I didn't even have at the moment. I had 30,000, which was for my children's school fees or more. And somebody even gave me that money because I was excited at this point. I accepted the offer to give him this 40,000. He even still accepted to collect the 40,000 because we had the long conversation of we started pricing like pepper and tomato. Then me, I was just thinking in my mind, I will become a millionaire suddenly in a few moments. Then I contacted a friend to borrow me 10,000 to add up to the money. Did you see? Then after, the allergy called the Elder Okoro, and Elder Okoro returned my call. Then after that call, he dropped an address at Akonwojo for me to meet him up to pay and collect the goods. Then on that fateful day, on my way to Akonwojo, Elder Okoro kept on calling back to back. And when I embarked on the journey, along the line, my phone battery died from excessive calling from Elder Okoro, which was even a sign from God that I should have turned back home. My house was at Ekpe at that time. Anybody that knows the distance between Ekpe and Akonwojo will know that these are 2 worlds apart. You get mind though. You enter road. Wait first, may I finish the story first. From Ekpe, they go Akonwojo. Okay. Then me, in my mind, I was still thinking I was a millionaire in the making. I kept on moving. Finally, I got to Akunwojo bus stop. I dropped by the bus stop. I looked for where I would charge my phone. So I entered one business center and begged the boy in charge of the place to power my phone. He agreed. After so much begging, he charged the phone. Then after the phone powered on, it was this Elder Okoro that was still calling. Then I told him I was there. Then he said, where was I? I told him I was inside the business center by the bus stop there. He said I should come out. And when I came out, I saw this handsome, fair, tall-looking man. Can't really call his face right now, but I saw him and he asked me for the money. Immediately I gave him the money. He gave me a black polythene bag with some items inside. As I tried to look at the contents in the bag, the moment I bent my head to look into the bag, I raised my head up and the man was nowhere to be found. Now, I was trying to ask myself what just happened, and I had so many questions to ask him about how to use the product, but he had disappeared before my very own eyes. At this point, I realized, say, they don't do me wayo. My eye can't clear. Your eye need to clear. My eye don't clear. They don't do me wayo. And the bag was filled with junk. I started pacing back and front on the main road like a mad person. Oh God, what was going on my mind was that I used to advise people to be careful, and now I'm the one that is falling victim to this careless act of mine. I managed to go back to the business center where I charged my phone, where I almost collapsed from the shock that just happened a while ago. A lot of thoughts running through my mind. The business center boy kept on asking me if there was any problem, and that, Madam, is everything all right? I told him I'm fine. Then I had to summon courage to get out of the business center. Thank God that I had transport to go back home. So I went back home. On getting home, I got home with a moody face, and my brother saw me and was asking me, hope all is well. Hey. Then I burst into tears. Sorry. Then I started saying, I want to poof. I want to poof. Then he told me not to cry again, that he would support me with another money. Thank God I have people like this in my life that could support me. What if I didn't have anybody to support me? Thank God for family. My sister, thank God. Then she wrote at the end here that imagine if I didn't have anybody to support me. Then my advice for you is to be careful who you trust, especially those people you speak to on phone that you have never met. I see a lot of people are falling victim to this kind of thing. They've spent a lot of money to finance a particular thing, fictitious products. We have to be very careful. If you are talking with somebody new, I would say my own personal opinion, of which I will still rely on you in the comment section to give me the opinion of how that guy was able to find out a lot of details about her. Because when you talk to people, strange people you just met, the excitement, you might not know when you let out a lot of information about yourself. You have to be careful when you are talking with a new person. Ask the person question, engage the person. Because me, I was almost a victim of this kind of thing too. But I engaged the person in questions, and he got tired and he stopped chatting. It doesn't cost you anything to ask questions. Ask questions and don't be too trustful. So, please share your story. This is one lesson from one person. Please, let's share our stories and help the next person. Thank you. See you next time. Bye.